Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Gen Z Christian culture. So I'm going to be your producer, Chavez Kennedy.
And I'm your writer, Jamyla Cowley. So we have two characters. The first one starting off as Ava. She will be seen as like your antagonist, essentially. Ava is 21 years old. She's a senior in college. And she comes from a low income family. And I know you're wondering, like, how is Ava surviving? Ava works in a nightlife where she meets Jackson. Jackson is a 27-year-old man who he's struggling with leaving his fleshly desires, such as the club life and the street life, behind to follow his spiritual desires, which is Christ. Yeah.
And some of the themes and values for the Gen Z Christian culture project that we were working on are going to be forgiveness, love, patience, gentleness, and courage. So moreover, on forgiveness, we know that God is a forgiving God, and especially because Ava and Jackson are Christians, they believe that Jesus died on the cross for their sins. And that whole depiction is basically forgiveness in itself. So Ava, who struggled with being forgiving towards God and herself, she struggled with just being upset with herself and just going through it. God was always forgiving and loving towards her and patient with her and gentle towards her, in spite of everything that she was going through, in spite of her being mad with God, in spite of her being mad at herself. And we have Jackson, who was also being able to encourage Ava in spite of all that she was going through as well. And we're over on the plot. So we have Jackson, who is present in the life of Ava in order to be a light in her life. So he's trying to push them both forward and out of a lifestyle of sin and fleshly desires and into a new lifestyle that's led by Christ. So, yeah.
So on the story, as I said earlier, Jackson is running away from his flesh. But one night, Jackson friends had convinced him to go to the club. Jackson really didn't want to go because he know in the back of his head, this isn't right. I'm running from something and I need to run and not look back. But Jackson friends got him to go to the club where he sees Ava, and immediately Jackson feels this spiritual connection. He can't define what it is right then and there, but he knows that he has to go up to Ava and he has to get her contact information. Now down the line, Jackson and Ava is together and they're now living together. And Ava is graduated from college, and this is the summer after her graduation year, right? So Ava is still working at the club, and Jackson is coming in from working at the church when he sees Ava flaming up blunt. She has alcohol on the table. She's mentally preparing herself to go to work because, it's bringing her down. And Jackson walks in and he's like, "Aren't you tired of that?" And Ava responds like, "Tired? Like, you don't think I'm tired? Like, yes, I'm tired, but who's going to get me through?" And Jackson is kind of confused because he's like, "Look around, you come from a family who is strong in Christ. He's been getting you to and from the club. He's been protecting you. Like when you're tired, give him your battle and he'll take over your battle essentially." So Jackson and Ava is going back and forth, and Ava reaches this point where she's just like, "I'm tired." And Jackson, what you're saying is the truth. And deep down inside, it's a spark of spirit of God that's in my body. And it's calling me to surrender. I can't do this anymore. When Jackson and Ava kind of hit the floor, and they're both crying because it's a breakthrough.
And just some information on light setup and outfits. So for the lights, they're dim, but not too dim in the setup that is displayed, which is in their apartment.
And in Ava's living room, as I explained, there's bottles and blunts on the table and a countertop. It's kind of like disorganized because Ava hasn't had a chance to clean. And we all know when our mind isn't right, our home isn't right. So everything is, everything is just everywhere, and then it's stains of like liquid across the walls and the floors, far from the living room, because Ava drops the bottle, and she just never cleaned it up.
In the outfits that both characters are wearing, Ava's going to be wearing a jogging suit set, while Jackson is going to be having on a suit for the entire duration of the scenes taking place.
And that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed our Gen Z Christian culture presentation.
Thank you all and have a great day.